Great.
Yep.
So hi, I'm Heidi Hoover. I am a GK educator, and I am here to share some GK knowledge about the best cocoa and acai. So I am welcome to questions, and I love answering them. So is everybody familiar with the cocoa and the acai? I know it's fairly new, but I didn't know. I was hoping everybody had a little idea of what it's all about. So the cocoa and the acai are the vegan, I want to say sisters or brothers to the best treatment. So what makes the cocoa and the acai vegan is the new V2, which is their Juvexin that is formulated from acai and quinoa. So those are in these taming treatments instead of the original Juvexin, which was derived from the sheep's wool. So it's designed to be very nourishing. You know, it's going to have work the same as the best as far as taming, softening, shiny, quicker dry time, healthier, shinier hair. So let me grab the couple of bottles I have here. So we have the acai and we have the cocoa. So these two are awesome. They're, like I said, they are very similar to the best.
Heidi, we're not able to hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm like rambling on Okay, so hi, my name is Heidi. I am a GK educator, and I am here today to share some knowledge with you about the cocoa and the acai best taming systems. These two are the brother or sister to the best taming system. So I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with the best, but the best is one of the best taming systems there is. There's no chemical release. It's done with all natural ingredients. And the difference between these, like I said, and the best are that these are vegan. And the regular best is made with the original Juvexin, which is derived from sheep's wool. And these are derived, the V2, the vegan Juvexin V2 is derived from quinoa and pea. So the procedure is pretty much the same for the best and the best cocoa and best acai. So the difference between these two is minimal, but it's there. There's different ingredients in them. So sometimes it's just a matter of preference because they both perform beautifully. So the best cocoa has the coconut oil in it. So that's the cocoa. It doesn't smell chocolatey. It doesn't smell coconutty though. It actually smells peachy. You can see there's like little peaches on the label here because there's some peach extract in there, peach pectin. But it has coconut oil. It's loaded with vitamin E for antioxidants. Goji berry, which has 19 amino acids in it. So that's a source of rich protein. The coconut oil is really important because coconut oil is one of the few things that can really penetrate deep into cuticle or into the skin because the molecules get so small. So this one it's awesome. Everything in here is designed to smoothen, tame, strengthen, protect, make the hair super shiny. So one of my favorites actually. It's hard to choose though because the acai is awesome as well. And the acai, the difference is it also has the V2 in it, which is the vegan Juvexin. But it has acai for moisturizing and remineralizing. It has grape extract in it, which is an amazing antioxidant and is loaded with vitamins and minerals. And it has, I hope I say this right, acreola, which is a tropical fruit that has plenty of vitamins, minerals. It has a really nice fragrance and it leaves the hair really youthful. So these both are packed with amazing ingredients. And it's really, from everybody that's used it, they both work really, really nicely. Sometimes it's just a matter of a scent, who likes what scent better than the other. But they're both amazing and they're both doing really, really well. I've used both of them. and I'm really, really impressed with them. I tend to lean towards the cocoa because I like the peach smell, but I really do like the acai one as well. So they're both really great. And like I said, they're like non-identical twins, I guess is the best way to describe these guys. So the process for them is the same as the best, where you would pH plus wash. You always want a pH plus wash before you do your service. That will clarify the hair, open up the cuticle, prepare the hair to take on as much as possible, really get it into the hair cuticle. So the pH plus is one of my favorite items also because of how well it deep cleans the hair without making it feel really matted. I mean, it feels super, super clean, like a squeaky clean feeling, but it doesn't leave the hair really matted. It has Juvexin in it, so it helps. Again, it has, proteins and keratins in it along with its clarifying. So first step, couple shampoos, about a minute or so each of the pH plus shampoo, and then you go ahead and you apply your best cocoa or acai, and you do it the same manner you do the regular best, which is kind of like applying color without actually doing like a root touch up. You apply it about 1/4 inch from the root out, and you get a nice coating on there, and you comb it through, and then you process for about an hour, and then you rinse it out pretty clear. If you have really, really porous hair, you could do a light moisturizing shampoo, and then you would condition with the moisturizing conditioner, and then you would go ahead with your blow dry. And your blow dry is really important. You have to have that tension and the high heat, and you're stretching the hair with the blow dryer and the brush, and that kicks in everything that's penetrated into the hair and really locks in that taming and smoothing and everything, all the great benefits from the treatments. And then you polish up with your flat iron. So once you're done, you could go right ahead and you can immediately wash it. If, say, your guest likes to wear the hair natural, you have to go through these steps to lock it in, but then you can shampoo them with moisturizing shampoo or CBD shampoo or any of the GK Wonderful shampoos. The reason I mentioned CBD shampoo is because that one's also vegan. And so you could shampoo and then let them air dry or put product in it or style it however they want if they'd like it a different way. So that's what's one of the amazing things about the Best family is that once you're done, it's done. And also, if you want to color, once you're done with your whole process of the taming of the Best acai or cocoa, you can go in and do your color right on top of it. I mean, I recommend a low developer because you obviously don't want to try to undo what you just did. So a lower volume developer is better, but you can color right after you do a treatment. Any questions? No questions.
I actually do have a question, Heidi. I'm probably jumping ahead here, but it's with the application procedure, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that once you, done the treatment, you blow dried it, you flat ironed it, you should wait about 2 days to wash the hair. Like, is there any truth to that, or the customer can actually wash it straight after, like when they go home?
Okay, so you can watch it straight after. The 2 days, the 48 hours or 2 days is in reference to the other taming treatment, the resistant, which is a completely different family of taming system than the Best in acai. It's a GK taming treatment that's amazing, but it's done completely different, and that is where the 2-day wait comes in. It has nothing to do with the Best or the acai or cocoa.
Absolutely, because I had the same concern because one of my customers was mentioning, like, you should wait for 2 days, and I told her you shouldn't wait with the Best series. It should just be with the resistant. But she was like, if you can check for that. So I was like, all right, I'll ask my educator about that. Well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Yeah, I mean, you can wash it immediately. I like to wait personally, just like when I do a color or anything like that, because every time you wash, you can kind of undo a little bit. Now, honestly, when you're using all the GK products, it does help preserve it and rejuvenate it. So that's why we can comfortably say you can go ahead and wash it right away. But I like to wait. And honestly, I don't have to rewash my hair right away. Once I'm done, I have super curly, crazy hair, by the way, just so you know where it's coming from. So once I'm done, once I've had this treatment, I truly wake up the next day not looking like this crazy woman that I normally wake up looking like. No matter how good my hair looks when I go to bed, if I don't have a treatment in it, I wake up and I have to redo my hair. But when I have a taming system in there, I can get a couple of days out of a style and it looks like a fresh style. So you don't have to wait to shampoo it, but you can, because it really does help hold with, like I said, we have the resistant, which is a completely different system. Then we have the best and the acai and the cocoa, which is great. And like I mentioned also, if vegan is an important part of somebody's world, we do offer the CBD shampoo and conditioner, which is also vegan, which has that V2, the Juvexin 2, which is derived from the pea and quinoa. And so those are really nice things to offer, because I personally know a few people that are vegan and they're very relieved. They actually like feel more comfortable in getting a taming system. They all work beautifully though. And I just enjoy doing it. So the process for once you've applied it, I think I skipped over that, which just dawned on me. The process, once you've applied your product, you let that process about an hour. I usually put processing cap on. I feel like a little bit of body heat always gives something a little bit of oomph, for a little bit of, a little extra. So I always put a processing cap on and I let that sit for about an hour. And before I go ahead and rinse it out or shampoo it if I need to shampoo it. But it's an amazing product. And like I said, I love how my hair feels and reacts to the blow dry, the curling iron. And the style lasts longer. So I'm going to be doing a hands-on demonstration, I believe, on Monday, the 18th, where I will have hopefully a live model, and I will be doing the application and talking about the pros and cons, well, no cons, but the pros of the product and, proper aftercare and all that. So I'm kind of excited to be doing that. I feel like my brain works better about the product knowledge when I'm working on hair. I think a lot of hairdressers can relate to that. So again, that's going to be Monday on the 18th, and I'm going to be doing the demo with, I haven't decided which one yet, the cocoa or the acai. Like I said, they're both amazing. And I like that we have a little bit of option between the two. So, any more questions? No questions.
Yes, I have a question.
Okay, great.
All right. So the question is, most of the clients that use GK Hair, the best products, okay, they say like after washing the hair, the product is rinsed out from the hair. The treatment is not anymore in the hair and they are not getting that long results. Is there any technique that we have to apply during the treatment? Because most of the people do the same as the resistant, just the downtime is not 48 hours. So I have a question, because I think the best might have some techniques, because the people are like complaining like they are not getting the longer results.
Okay. All right. So that there's a couple of different things that they could be doing. First of all, the resistant is a completely different treatment. So I don't recommend using any of your guidelines other than the pH plus shampoo when you're doing a best treatment. You're going to do the pH plus shampoo, you're going to section it off, and then you're going to do your application. But your application is going to go on thicker. It's not a tiny bit like the resistant. You want to get a nice coating on there. This is a thicker product, so it goes on a little heavier, but I say it's kind of like putting on color. You want to make sure there's enough product on there to saturate the hair without being wasteful. So you want to make sure that that is coating the hair really well, and you want to process it, like I said, for the hour. There used to be different time frames, and we've discovered over time that just doing that 1 hour, you get the best out of the result of the best. And then when they rinse it out, if they have somebody whose hair is resistant or like more coarse, or they think it's just going to need a little bit more oomph to it, I tend to leave a slight light film of the product in their hair and then I will condition and rinse that out and then do my blow dry. And that just seems to help give it a little extra punch of power. that works for me. I think it would work for your people that are having a little bit of a struggle. But they have to keep in mind they're not doing the resistant. So take that all that information on the resistant and put it aside and start fresh with the best. And also what they have to remember is, again, different than the resistant. Your blow dry is very important. Your round brush blow dry with the best family is very, very important. You go back and you section that hair after you shampoo and condition, and you stretch that hair with your round brush, and you take the heat on high heat and high power, and you stretch and you blow dry. And you visualize you have the product in there, and now you're locking it in with that heat and that stretching. And so the better stretch and the better pull that you get with your round brush and the heat you get on there, the better, stronger, smoother curl release you're going to get. The gentleman that trained me way back, something he told me stuck in my head, and it was, imagine the good old days when you had the phone with the coily cord, right? And if you took that coily cord and you stretched it and you put heat on it while you were stretching it, you're going to release that coil. You're going to soften that curl. And so that sticks in my head when I'm doing my round brush blow dry. I'm like thinking, I'm stretching out their curl, I'm putting in heat in there, and I'm helping to release their curl, and I'm helping to lock in my product. I lock in the system itself. And then the polishing after I do that is with the flat iron. So the flat iron gives it a last minute polish lock in, but you're going to focus on your blow dry. That is your key after processing and rinsing or shampooing it out. Does that help?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, sometimes people get the two mixed up and they're completely different. The resistant family is a completely different family from the best family. And so it is processed differently, and it is step by step so different. Other than the pH plus and sectioning it off, it's a completely different service.
One more question, like
Mm-hmm.
the deep conditioner, like how that, like, my question is, I'm not sure how to ask, like how like deep conditioner work in the best. Like deep conditioner is so necessarily to use the in the keratin treatment in the best, or it's just like you can or you cannot?
I recommend doing it. It's part of the step-by-step instructions. The deep conditioner has the most amount of Juvexin in it other than an actual taming treatment. So it's kind of giving it that extra punch as well. So you're going in and you're putting more moisture, more conditioner, and you're kind of helping putting one more little coating or one more lock-in of a little bit more keratin. But it is necessary, and you leave that on for about 5 minutes before you rinse that off. But it is, I feel it's an important step. I wouldn't skip it.
Got it.
Does that help you?
Yes.
Yes. I really feel like when I teach a class in salon, hands-on class, or even a Zoom class, I kind of give a lot of little tiny detail like that, because I feel like if we learn every baby step how to do something right, every baby step gives us a little bit better of a result. And I want the best result I can possibly get. I want the best longevity. I want the best shine. You know, I want my client to be as happy as I can make them. So every little baby step like that, I emphasize on it. When I'm teaching a class, I try to make sure everybody, you know, picks up these little steps, even right down to the tools that we're using. Wear your gloves. You have to wear your gloves. If you're not wearing your gloves, the product can absorb into your hand, and it's not, you're not focusing on penetrating it into the hair shaft. So you want to wear gloves when you're doing your application. When you're doing your blow dry, try to don't use anything absorbent. Don't use a bamboo brush or natural bristle brush, because that can be absorbent. That can pull product out of the hair rather than push it in. Flat iron. You definitely need to use the GK flat irons. They're designed. They have the plates that don't absorb off but help push it back in and lock it in. So you want to make sure every baby step that you use, every step you go through is what you need, is going to help benefit. And I feel like every little bit adds up to the best quality.
How does it differ from like the other treatments in terms of effectiveness and results that we achieve?
Okay. Sure. So the best is designed to be processed in the hair and rinsed out, which is completely different than the resistant or anything in the resistant family. So the acai has a lot of moisturizers, reconditioners that penetrate and make the hair healthier and stronger. So I feel like the best family, all of them, the cocoa as well. The cocoa has, you know, the protein from the coconut, and it's all designed to make the hair shinier, healthier, softer. It's designed to release curl naturally. No fumes come off the hair when you're doing your blow dry or your flat iron. There's no risk of that because it's something that you process. They penetrate into the hair shaft compared to the other treatment that sits outside the hair and gives it like a glass coating. This treatment penetrates into the hair shaft and works on the inside as well. So it's different. It's not better. It's not worse. It's just as good, but it's different in the way that it works. So it's just like, again, it's designed to penetrate in and work also on the inside, so you get good longevity. No harmful chemicals get released. Even the best product, the one that isn't acai or cocoa, but just the original best, that has a lot of natural ingredients in it as well. It's the main ingredient in that is derived from the sugar cane. So there's no harmful chemical released, and you get a nice soft taming treatment. It can be manipulated in different ways to get stronger results. But I always try to emphasize on learning how to do it the first original way, and then we can take it and make it a little stronger if we need to, because if you're comparing it to the resistant, that one is a stronger, quicker use, but it does, you know, it's a completely different process. The curly and the resistant are completely different, and I don't like to talk about both of them at the same time because that's when people get confused and they start mixing up which process goes with which one. So the difference, like I said, is these process, you rinse them out. You can do a light shampoo after if you need to. You condition, you rinse that out, and then your blow dry is your key. With the resistant, your flat iron is your key. Your flat iron is what locks in and puts that glass coating on the hair. With these, you're penetrating it in the hair, and the blow dry and the stretching and the heat will kick in and will work that way. So they are completely different as far as how they work. A lot of the similar benefits, again, are curl release, the shine. You get about 5 months of results. And just, you know, the softer curl, the shinier, healthier hair. These restore the hair. So there's a lot of differences. There are some similarities as far as the qualities of what you get out of getting a taming treatment. I tend to, if I have somebody that is nervous about a taming treatment, I like to use something like one of these to introduce it to them. And clients feel better when you can tell them, oh, this is conditioning. It's, you know, it penetrates in the hair shaft. We don't have to use a ton of flat ironing on it. Sorry. My brain works so fast, sometimes my mouth can't keep up with my wording. But I love the resistant family. But like I said, that's a completely different process and different way of doing it. So I know you asked me the differences, so I'm trying to think of all of them. Again, the blow dry is more important than the flat ironing with the best family. The best family, again, you can shampoo right away because when you've processed it and blow dried it and flat ironed it, you've locked it in. It's inside the hair. Where the resistant, it's a coating on the outside of the hair. And somebody mentioned to me that has had a lot of experience with these products that she felt that she loves them both. She felt like the resistant made the hair feel more like, because you're flat ironing it, it almost felt more like each strand felt more like a linguine strand. And with the Best in Cocoa, the strand kind of felt more like spaghetti, more rounder. And that kind of made sense to me because when you're flat ironing the strands of hair, you might almost make it feel a little flatter, where these penetrate in and you're blow drying and you're just touching up with the flat iron, so it leaves the strand a little bit more cylinder-like. So those are that's pretty much most of the differences. Hope I
Okay.
didn't miss anything.
And just one more question. Would you
Mhm.
compare the best series with like a Botox by any chance? A question that we get quite a lot of the times.
So a Botox, I feel like a Botox is a little different because this has a lot of qualities like a Botox, and it gives a lot, like I said, a lot of the healthy, more health back to the hair, the shine. It's loaded with all these wonderful vitamins and minerals and everything. But an actual Botox treatment, I feel like leaves more of a coating around the hair as well. I don't want to say silicone, but it leaves like a coating that is super shiny. These leave the hair super shiny as well. Um, it would be a good alternative to a Botox, but I wouldn't call it a Botox. We do have um, what we call our Botox is the conditioning treatment mixed with our Shield additive. And we mix that together and put that in the hair and put them under the dryer and process that and rinse it out. And that gives a Botox effect. These are more of a curl release where Botox is designed to give more depth and shine and like I said, that really like glossy look to the hair. Your hair will look very healthy with these and have a little bit of a shine and like a glossiness to it, but it's not a Botox treatment.
All
That's,
right, perfect. Thank you.
you're welcome. But like I said, if they're looking for an actual Botox treatment in GK hair, a mixture of the Shield additive with the deep conditioner makes an amazing Botox treatment.
Oh, yes.
Any more questions?
Hi, Heidi. Yes, I'm having a question.
Okay.
Actually, this was from the client side, which I think I wasn't able to assist in the best way. Actually, she already applied the color first,
Mhm.
and she was going to apply the best treatment after that.
Mhm.
So now she have to do the color again. She was stuck over here. I explained her the entire process of the best and the resistant both, that how we do colors with them and
Mhm.
how the processes are done. But still, she was stuck over there, and she wasn't able to understand. So I just wanted to ask you, if you were in my place, how would you have dealt with this situation?
So did she already do the color and she wants to do the treatment over the color?
Yes.
Okay. So I've done that actually as well. I've played around with some of the different ways of doing things with this experimentally. I found that doing the best treatment over color, it can lighten the color a little bit. So if that is to happen, I would always recommend doing the color a little bit deeper and then doing the best treatment on top. If that's the way they want to do it, then you would do the best treatment over the color, but it would have to be a little bit deeper because it can lift it up a little bit.
Hmm.
If she already had colored it and wanted to do the treatment and then was like, oh no, maybe I should have waited, she can always go back and refresh that color with like a low volume glaze that she can make with a
Hmm.
like a 8 volume and refresh it without really undoing her treatment.
Alrighty.
Is that what you were looking for?
Yes, because this was the situation where she was stuck that now if I've done the colors, I'd add the developer and the
Mhm.
color would fade away, and then I have to do the coloring all over again. So how would I go on with that? Yes, this was the right answer.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
There's been some differences over the years that we've played around with and we found which way works the best. So GK is such a innovative company and they're always moving forward. So as they're playing and learning the products and the best ways to use them, they are updating their procedures and how they want you to do it. So quite a few years back, that was one of the ways that we had started doing it with color. And then over time, working with it, we discovered that you can color over it and you can color over your taming treatment and it comes out beautiful. So it seems like a better way to go because you're not fading the color out when you're putting it on afterwards.
I got that. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, I would not recommend doing that with the resistant. The resistant, I would definitely color
Hmm.
first and then lock in the color with the resistant.
Hmm. I
Mhm.
got it. Thank you.
Mhm. You're welcome. Any more questions? Oh, Well, let me see. What else can we go over with the best and the acai? So I am my own guinea pig. I tend to experiment on myself with them. And like I was saying, I love them both. My hair reacts really, really well with them. I don't enjoy doing my own hair, but I've relocated to a new area and I don't have anybody here yet that I have come in contact with that can do it for me. So that's one of the benefits of using the best, because I can apply it and not worry about too much product on my hair burning off, or, all the little other steps that go along with the traditional type of keratin treatment. I can apply it, I can process it. I can rinse it out and deep condition it, and I can get myself a really good blow dry. So as a hairdresser, we don't always have time to pamper ourselves and go get our hair done. But what's amazing about this is I can do this on myself, and I love my own results. So, that's a perk as well. So I just figured I'd throw that out there.
Heidi, just a quick question here. And this is in regards to like safety and allergies. So are there any like safety considerations or like potential allergic reactions which are associated with the best, or any of the ingredients that are used in the best?
So allergy question. So far, I have not run into any issues with allergies. But if you know someone's highly allergic to coconut, I would use the acai. If someone's highly allergic, they know their allergies, then you go from there. Most people with their allergies, they know what they're allergic to, and most of the main ingredients are like really upfront on the bottle. Again, I haven't had any issue with any kind of allergy reactions with these, even with the original of the best. If somebody has maybe a strong allergy to the sheep's wool, a lot of people have, then don't go with the regular best, go with one of these guys. But as far as I know, I really haven't heard of any reaction. And I've done a lot of classes and I have a lot of contact with a lot of hairdressers. And at this point, I really haven't had any feedback with any kind of allergy reaction to them. But just like anything else, if you know they have an allergy to something, you use something else. And there's some great options here.
Okay, great. And just with your experience, like, do you have a preference between the two, like the one that you might prefer one over the other?
I don't, that's hard to say. Like I said, they are like non-identical twins. So if I really, really had to pick one, I kind of lean towards the cocoa, but I love coconut. So again, it's some of it's just personal preference. I mean, I love the coconut. I love that like coconut can penetrate into the hair. It's one of the tiniest molecules that can go deep into the hair. I like acai. I really like acai, but I love coconut. I mean, I like coconut juice. I like the smell of coconut. So even though this smells like peach, I love the smell of peach, but I very slightly will lean towards coconut. If you gave me both of those and said, okay, you can do your hair with them, both would make me happy, but I just think I would enjoy the cocoa better. That's just personal though.
We're on the same page then.
Okay, that's good to know. So, any other questions? I want to smell the acai. It's been a while since I've smelled it. Yeah, it's got like a fruitier smell. It's definitely fruitier. Let me smell the cocoa. The peach is pretty. Yeah, maybe I like peach a little better too. I think I do lean toward this one a little, but the acai has it's got a very clean smell. That's a really nice thing about the products too, is they have a really great smell to them. And when you're applying product on a client, they notice that. They know if it's stinky. They know if it smells good. I've always jokingly said that you could come up with a product that is a miracle worker. If it doesn't smell good, I'm going to probably not want to use it as often as I should. It's the same thing with my facial cream or my lipstick or anything like that. If it doesn't have a good smell, even if it's gorgeous or it's the best thing for my skin, I'm probably not going to use it as much because I don't know. This smell means a lot to people and it means a lot to me. So that's like I said, one of the really great things about this too is the scent that comes out when you shake them up and you put them in your bowl. They smell nice. I'm all about making my client and my chair happy. So if something smells good and is smooth and creamy, it's a better experience for them. And that makes them like their results even better. If somebody's in your chair and they don't have the greatest experience, but they have the best hair when they're done, they're going to love their hair, but they're going to be a little bit more hesitant to come back as frequent as if you have a wonderful experience in the chair and they have amazing hair. They're going to want to come back sooner. And I like that.
Okay, great. Sorry, I'm just asking too many questions here. But although the treatment does last about 3 to 5 months, right, typically, are there any factors which can influence this duration as well? I do know, like, if somebody is on like chemotherapy, it can obviously affect the results,
Mhm.
the longevity of the results. Are there anything else that can, sort of affect the results?
Yes, absolutely. And that's a really great question. And I'm glad you asked it because I had a note somewhere to talk about different ways to make it last longer and to maintain it. So thank you for that. Medications can affect, but if you do that pH plus shampoo, I can tell you that it really, really does help. It does help prepare the hair to take it on. Medication, there's not a lot we can do if somebody's having a lot of issues with medication, but our product line, our take-home products are so supportive of our system. And so making sure they're using the GK products to support their hair is really, really important. They have the Juvexin in them. They have either the Juvexin or the V2, so whichever they prefer. But it does prolong the hair. I am experimental. I experiment on myself a lot. And I was told about another shampoo line that there's all keratins in it and it's safe to use with the GK. And I was like, oh, I'm going to put that to the test. And I can tell you that other keratin shampoos may not undo your keratin treatment, but they don't support it and reboost it and keep it alive longer. And that is from hands-on myself. So by using the right products, by giving them deep conditioning treatments with that conditioning mask, that has, again, the most amount of Juvexin in other than an actual taming treatment. So giving deep conditions with that will give rejuvenating to your treatment, which would help somebody that has medical issues that maybe will cause the treatment to not last as long. But again, using the GK products will prolong the life of the hair. Now, if you have somebody that goes in the ocean a lot, that sulfate, the salt water, that can help deteriorate. So again, you can go back in with the moisturizing treatment with that, with the deep conditioner. So sulfate. So again, if they're very active in the gym and they sweat a lot, I recommend that, a headband rather than get your hair dripping wet with sweat.
And I believe you can also use like leave-in cream or leave-in spray for that as well.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly I was going to say too. So if they go to the beach or they're going to do things that are going to deteriorate it, we also have the leave-in cream and the leave-in spray, which will kind of help protect it. You're putting a little bit of Juvexin and a little bit of protectant in your hair before you experience this. Also at the beach, if you wet your hair, and then put a little bit of the leave-in cream or the mist on the leave-in spray, you're giving your hair a coating that's going to absorb in there and help fight off the undoing of the sulfate from whatever you're getting yourself exposed to. I always tell people too, because hearing my analogies again, somebody told me this a long time ago, and that also sticks in my head. If you take a sponge that's dry and you stick it in that salt water, it's going to suck it all up. But if you take a sponge that you've wet, moistened, and then put like some conditioner or something in there, and then you stick that in the salt water, it doesn't have a lot of room to suck up and go. But these little things that they told me really stick in my head, and it really, really helped me. So that's why I try to share those little crazy thoughts with everybody else. But it makes sense to me, doing something to protect your hair against the elements, if you're going to expose yourself to them, will help prolong your taming treatment. If you do go to the beach and you didn't do anything and you feel like, okay, I went to the beach a couple days and I was in the water and in the sun, you can go, your guests, if they could call you and tell you they did that, you can go ahead and give them, again, a deep conditioning treatment, or you can, obviously you want them to use the stuff, but you can, give them that deep conditioning treatment. You can add a little bit of the Shield Additive in there to give it a boost. We have a lot of take-home products that are amazing for that. There's also, going off subject from the best, but we have the Fast Blow Dry, which is like a quick keratin treatment that can rejuvenate any other keratin treatment. So GK does have what we need to support it. So along with what we need to perform the service. So that's an amazing thing. And also there's a 1-800 number. There's always somebody on hand to answer questions if somebody is stumped. If somebody, I don't know about you, but if something happens, sometimes my brain, I have to sit back and think, and just talking to somebody else about it will help me remember, oh yeah, I can do this and I can do that. So it's good to know that support system is there for us as well if we have somebody that has a problem.
Absolutely, and thank you for actually touching up on Shield Additive. That was actually my follow-up question. So is we can mix the 10% Shield Additive in the best cocoa or whichever treatment that we're doing, right?
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
Can you maybe put like a ballpark number on how long does the treatment usually last if you were to do it with the Shield Additive and if you were to do it without the Shield Additive? Keeping in mind that the customer is obviously using, the GK or Aftercare line.
Okay, so the Shield Additive, because it just makes the product a little bit better, it helps heal. And so if you're using on someone that needs a little bit more healing or a little bit more bond building and strengthening, it's going to bring the hair back to where it should be. It could give a little bit more longevity. As far as how much, I can't really say. It really would depend on the starting point of who you're working on, just like everybody else. Everybody's different, but because you're giving it a boost, I feel like it will help with it taking better. And if it takes better, it's going to last longer. I actually can tell you that from using everything the way it's supposed to be done, I actually have gotten up to 7 months. Now, don't quote me. Don't go around saying it's going to last 7 months. But on me personally, by using all the right products, doing everything I need to do, I was at a 7-month point before I started going, I think I need another treatment. So my own testimony is, yes, if you do all these little things, and even if you add the Shield Additive, you can boost the longevity of it. I'd rather overachieve and underpromise, though, than tell someone it's going to last them 5 to 7 months. I'd rather tell them 3 to 5 and have them be super happy when they get a little extra time out of it.
All right, great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Is there any more questions? You guys can tell that if you ask me a question, it triggers something in my head and I can just keep rambling. So if you have a question, no question is dumb. What do they say? The only dumb question is one that isn't asked. So I really encourage, even if you think it's just the simplest question, just ask it. Because I can.
You just rambling on as well. That kind of helps us to kind of get the question out as well. So it works both ways.
Oh, good. Okay, great. Yeah, I was wondering about that. Like, I ramble on. I hope it's okay. I hope that, I'm not just sometimes I feel like I just dump so much information because my head's just spinning with it when I trigger it in that part of my brain that I'm like, oh gosh, I hope I'm not making their head spin. So that's good to hear. Thank you.
I actually have a question for one of the teammates here. They asked if does the best cocoa treatment have any benefits or effects on the scalp health, such as moisture balance or irritation prevention?
Actually, that's a really good question. I suppose it really could. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, it's not something that you're supposed to go in and apply to the scalp. If it gets on the scalp, then that's something, that happens. It always does. But having, like you said, the cocoa, all these great ingredients in both of them, actually, I think that it would be less, it wouldn't be irritant on the scalp at all. It could probably help a little bit for sure. I just knocked them over. I tell people that one of the things I got for feedback from the CBD shampoo from a lot of people was, the CBD is great. My hair feels good, but my scalp feels amazing. So, that's a really good question because things in here can actually benefit more than just the hair. So it is a possibility that it can help a little bit on the scalp. I'm not saying go in there and slap that right on the scalp, but if it gets on the scalp, I imagine everything in here would be a little bit more of a protectant or moisturizer, like you said, other than a lot of other treatments that wouldn't carry something like that in it for sure. But again, like I said, the CBD, that was a nice surprise when my feedback was my scalp feels great too, along with my hair. And I'm like, that's awesome. So,
Actually, same with mine. I feel like CBD shampoo and conditioner did a lot better than moisturizing for like my hair type that I have. But I do have another question from one of the guys here. So, the question, sorry, the question that they asked is, how versatile is the best cocoa treatment, in terms of working with like different hairstyles, lengths, and textures?
how versatile it is.
Yes.
Um, it's designed to work on pretty much all types of hair. The result will vary depending on the base of your hair. So somebody with tighter, curlier textured hair, you're going to get curl release, softening, shine, all that, quicker blow dry, longer lasting style. Somebody who has a looser curl, you're going to get a lot more curl elimination if their hair is finer, more apt to take it on. So it's just like the other taming, the best, the cocoa or the best. It's going to depend on the technique, like again, your blow dry technique and all that. But it's the percentage of curl that you will, and it's going to vary the percentage of curl release that you will get. The other benefits as far as shine and all the great benefits from all the vitamins and the, anti-aging aids and all that in there, that's going to benefit everybody all the same way pretty much, because it's going to be penetrating into the hair shaft. So the biggest difference, in my opinion, would be how much curl release you get. Because like, again, if somebody's got that really kinky, tight curl, it's going to soften it and release it, comfortably a little bit. Somebody with less curl, you're going to get almost like a straight effect out of them. So it's good for all hair types. The effect is going to be depending on what you're starting with.
Okay. And Heidi, since you have such a vast experience with obviously GK line, you obviously might have some client concerns that might come to you. So like what are the most common concerns that clients have about the best series, and how can they be addressed effectively?
Wow, I'm going to really have to think, because I really haven't had problems with it. From using it over the years, I have learned to, like I said, all those baby steps that I take add up to the best results. So one thing I've learned is, again, don't skip steps. Do your best to do every little thing that you can to make it turn out the best that you can. I've had a couple of people that I really haven't had a problem with it. Obviously, some people would expect a little bit more curl release. So I have learned that when I do my consultation, I don't say straighten. I say soften or release curl. But I've also learned that my blow dry technique can affect how much curl release I give them. So some people want less curl release, so I don't do as tight of a stretch when I blow dry. Just customizing it to their results. So one of the biggest things, and I try to start all my classes when I'm doing like a hands-on class or even a Zoom class, is your consultation. Anytime I've had somebody that wasn't 100% satisfied is usually because of miscommunication in the consultation. So I tend to give a thorough consultation, and I really feel safe and comfortable using the best products, because I guess probably because I've used them for so long that I feel comfortable when I do a consultation to give them expectations that I can meet. I hope that's what you're looking
Okay.
for.
Yeah, that totally answers the question. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
you're welcome. You're
Yeah,
welcome.
I'm
Yes.
having a question, Heidi. Actually, this was on a call as well. What happened that the client was asking that they wanted to use another shampoo or a conditioner other than the pH plus shampoo or the deep conditioner. So is it possible that we could tell them that you can use this type of shampoo or the conditioner after and before the best?
I'm not comfortable with doing that. Personally, I'm not. Like I said, I was talking about all those baby steps, and this pH plus shampoo, this is a huge step. This isn't even a baby step. This is a really important step. It's not that expensive to carry. It's an amazing product. And I personally will not do a taming treatment if I do not have this shampoo. So, you're going to affect the longevity. You can't get the best results if you're not using what everything is designed to do. These are all tied together, and I don't believe in supplementing them. I truly don't. And it's not that I don't love, other products or whatever. I'm not like that. I just feel like when I'm doing a system, I use everything in the system because that's what it's designed to do to get the best results. So I say no.
All right, sure. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
As per as step-by-step guidelines for the resistant and the best, we are supposed to wait for 2 days for the resistant before washing the hair. What if somebody does not wash the hair for a week, for example? I personally believe that would negatively affect the hair. What do you say? And also about the best, please.
Okay, so first let's tackle the one about the resistant. I actually came up in one of our trainings, and when we do our trainings, there's a whole bunch of us educators that we all give input to our experiences and what we found that's happened over time, and what clients have given them for feedback. We came up with the 48-hour rule. The 48-hour rule is important because it takes that long for it to cure and really settle, and just for the product itself to process and just it stops working at 48 hours. And that's when it's safe to shampoo. You should shampoo close to that 48-hour window. You should, as close to it obviously after, but close to it as you can afterwards, because once that's processed and it's ready to come off in 48 hours, you have dead product in your hair. You have product in your hair that is not doing any good, and it needs to come off. There are so many little things, again, from all these years of me doing this, there's little things that you learn. I had a woman that has a little child, and she carries a child, and I'm talking to her, and her child likes to grab her hair and bite it. Please don't let your child do that while that product is in your hair, and make sure you wash that out before you let her do that. Not that you should be letting her do that, but these little things come to my mind. It's like, so no, after 48 hours, that needs to be washed off as close to that window as you can, because the dead product in your hair is not going to help it. And yes, it can start to give a negative effect. It needs to be washed out. What the negative effect is, I'm not really sure. I can't really tell you, other than it's just not good for the hair to be on there. For the best, when you're done with the best, again, you can wash it immediately, but you don't have to. And whatever comfortable amount of time after you finish the best that they want to shampoo, it's fine, because once you finish the whole service, it's good. It's good to go. They could wait a week if they want to wait a week. It's not going to be harmful to their hair. So I think that's all I got for that.
Yeah, because I a couple of times I had this call from the customer, and they did not get the desired results, and everything was fine. It's just that they waited. It was a week ago they had the treatment done, and they hadn't washed the hair. So I thought that, like hair colors. So if you leave the hair color on the hair for more than necessary, that you might not get the effect, or you might get a different color. So I thought that might have a negative effect on the hair. That's probably why it probably reverses the process or something. But yeah,
it's definitely not good for the result. And so you were 100% correct. After the 48-hour window, in a lot of salons, and I recommend this to people too, a lot of hairdressers, they come up with an aftercare printout, and some of them actually say, after 48 hours, wash within a window of time, and there's an aftercare they send home. And they actually have one salon chain that I did classes for the resistant. They have a take home, but they also have a paper they sign it. So they keep a copy and they send a copy home. And in that copy, it talks about the aftercare, and it talks about even little things like it was in one of those classes that the girl had told me that she has a daughter that bites her hair. So they actually worded in their take home to like not chew on the hair, not to go, you know, like just really weird little things that you wouldn't think of. They had I can't think of them all right now, but they actually had like a little paragraph of like, please don't allow your children or blah, 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 or your dog, or it is just, you want people to be aware. There's a chemical in your hair after you do the resistant for 48 hours. It's still working. You don't want to get it wet. You don't want to, you know, go in a sauna or go like in a steamy, humid pool area. You are still responsible for 48 hours of your hair curing and then washing it out to get the best results in your hair. I think, did I just ramble on? I'm sorry.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Mhm. You guys, we have a couple more minutes, so please don't be afraid to ask me anything. If I miss something, please tell me, because I really want to try to cover as much as I can for you. Crickets.
Hi. Well, no, I'm learning a lot of the new things because it's a new product to me like, I'm just starting to know this product. So I don't know if there is like a slide or some like a kind of presentation that you can share with me or with us. I don't know if I feel like some of the persons here are part of the staff of the company. They know the product, you know, the product guys. So I'm trying to learn and follow you in all the specifications of each product. And so I don't know if there is like a slide you can share with the.
Well, great. I mean, welcome to the GK world. The longer you're with it, the more you're going to love it. We have a ton of videos on the Facebook page and on Instagram and all that. But we also have a lot of Zoom meetings too, like this. In being new, I'm sure you feel like you're not sure what question to ask. So hopefully listening to us with the questions and answers has helped. I'm sorry, I have a crazy dog. And somebody's outside. Again, like I said, I'm doing a class on Monday, I think it's this Monday, the 18th, where I'm going to talk about and show an application of one of the best products. I'm also going to talk about the color a little bit. And those little things, all that, when I first started with the company, just even if I don't sit there for the whole hour, but I try to watch what I can, if I get in what I can, it all just does add up in your head. And it does, in time, you get more and more comfortable. And also, like I said, if a question does come up and you're not sure, there is the customer support 24 hours a day. Also, I mean, I taught in Massachusetts, New England, New York for several years. I'm now relocated in Florida, and I still get phone calls from salons for just my opinion on a GK color formula, or, oh, hey, I forgot, with the best, do I do this? And, you know, GK is very supportive, and us educators are very supportive of everybody. People have been with us for a long time, and new people. So welcome.
That's great to hear, and I'm feeling like, yeah, it's getting interesting, and thanks for the support.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
I think we did a good job covering a lot of things, and I'm really grateful for your questions. I appreciate those. Like I said, you've triggered a few things that I wanted to talk about. So I'm very happy that you guys were here, and I really hope I was helpful with everybody. Again, GK is very supportive and helpful with everything, so don't be afraid to ask questions and reach out if you need help.
Thank you very much, Heidi. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. It was nice to see you guys.
Same.
Thanks for the time you spent here and all your knowledge and all